In Poland, Andrzej Duda's presidency is drawing to a close, marking the end of a tumultuous term for Warsaw and the EU. Barred by the constitution from seeking a third term, Duda's exit in May 2025 guarantees a new president will take charge. The stakes are high. Duda, known for his unwavering NATO loyalty and pro-Ukraine stance, leaves behind concern for Volodymyr Zelenskyy and Donald Tusk, as a potential political shift looms. The ruling conservative PIS party, once a dominant force and home to Duda and former Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, is now grappling with the waning support. Detecting a shift in the public sentiment, PIS has adjusted its approach to Ukraine, signaling a new phase in the political landscape of Poland. And so, tensions between PIS and Zelenskyy are rising like never before. Figures from Poland's National Conservative Law and Justice, also known as the PIS party, have accused Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of brazen interference after Zelenskyy used his Warsaw visit to criticize the PIS-backed candidate Karol Nawrocki and presented an award to the opposition candidate Rafal. Last week, Nawrocki, supported by the PIS, stated that he does not envision Ukraine in the EU or NATO until he resolved the issues related to the Volhynia massacres, referencing to the killing of 100,000 ethnic Poles by the Ukrainian nationalists during the World War II. In retaliation, Kiev responded angrily, with its foreign ministry calling Nawrocki's remark manipulative and unacceptable, accusing him of aiding Russia's effort to destroy the Ukrainian-Polish friendship and mutual understanding. During his visit, Zelenskyy directly addressed Nawrocki's comments, telling the Polish media, if Ukraine is not in the EU and is also not in the NATO, if Ukraine does not have a guarantee of security, then Mr. Nawrocki should start training already for a war, because it may turn out that he will have to take up arms to defend his country together with his compatriots. Traditional Zelenskyy here, back to fear-mongering tactics. He further warned that after Ukraine, Russia will be on Poland's border, and then Nawrocki will not have political contest. He will be fighting for his life. However, Zelenskyy crossed all his limits when he met the Warsaw mayor Rafal Nawrocki, the Civic Coalition's presidential candidate who is also backed by Donald Tusk, and awarded him a Ukrainian honor for the city's support for the Ukrainian refugees. This prompted severe criticism from PIS politicians who accused him of interfering in May's presidential election campaign. Volodymyr Zelenskyy is brazenly engaged in the election campaign in Poland on the side of pro-German Rafal Nawrocki and attacks Karol Nawrocki, who is a Polish politician and defends the Polish interest, tweeted PIS MP Janusz Kowalski. Several even declared him scandalous and corrupt for the war in Ukraine. Well, for Zelenskyy, trying all in his power to get a favorable outcome in his favor is not something new. He tried his best to interfere in American elections, though he failed miserably. Now he is trying similar in Poland. And why not? An enemy sitting far beyond thousands of kilometers away is still not a threat like an enemy knocking on the borders. If Poland changes its president and elects Karol Nawrocki for the post, Zelenskyy and Tusk, actually the whole NATO bloc, could have sleepless nights and trouble. Nawrocki is quite an anti-Ukraine figure. As per him, a state that is unable to answer for all its crimes cannot become the part of an international alliance. By this, he meant the unresolved issue of exhumation of the victims of the Volhynia massacre on the territory of Ukraine. His ongoing campaign is emphasizing on Polish patriotism, Christian values and national sovereignty, with a focus on addressing the historical grievances and the current war in Ukraine, including the migrant crisis. However, his stance on Ukraine's EU and NATO membership has been perceived as aligning with the Russian interest, leading to criticism from the Ukrainian officials, though he has never issued such a critical statement. In Poland's political system, the president holds significant power, including the ability to veto legislation passed by the parliament. For instance, President Andrzej Duda has exercised his veto power on multiple occasions, effectively obstructing the key legislation at the time of the Ukraine war. If Nawrocki is to assume the presidency and adopt a stance less supportive of Ukraine, it could complicate NATO's strategic objective in the region. Such a development might cause concern for the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy as it could impact the dynamics of support and cooperation Poland has been giving. And so, Kiev and NATO are definitely having sleepless nights over such a possible scenario looming on the horizon.